I'd like to start this video out by pointing out that you're glowing. I'm glowing too. In fact, all mammals use the energy in our food to produce heat, which emanates off of our bodies in the form of infrared light. But we didn't learn that by studying food digestion or ovens. Instead, it was discovered by a brother-sister team of astronomers from Germany studying the sun. Then their discovery led another German scientist to find the opposite invisible light, ultraviolet light. Ready for this little story? Let's go!
Electricity, electricity.
It all started when a German musician named Friedrich Wilhelm Herschel left Germany for England in 1757, possibly as a way to get out of serving in the army. At first, he made his living as a musician and a composer, and in 1772, his far younger sister Caroline joined him, as at home she said, "There was no one who cared anything about me." Then in the next year, 1773, Frederick became interested in astronomy and began to build his own telescopes, and his sister followed suit. Their rise to prominence was remarkable. In 1781, Herschel discovered a new planet, the first planet to be discovered in over 2,000 years. Amusingly, he wanted to name the planet Georgian Sidus, or George's planet, after King George III, which was not a popular name in France, or in England, to be honest. Instead, most scientists referred to it as the Herschel planet before it was changed to Uranus. The year after Herschel discovered a new planet, 1782, King George hired him as the king's personal astronomer and tasked him with building a large telescope near London. The Herschels immediately used all of their tools to build a 20-foot telescope, and in 1786, Caroline Herschel became, according to a book published in 1801, the first woman to discover a new comet. After that, her brothers successfully vied for her to have an income of her own, making her the first paid female astronomer in the modern world. She recalled to a friend that this paycheck was the first money I ever in all my lifetime thought to myself to be at liberty to spend to my own liking. Meanwhile, in 1785, William Herschel convinced the king to fund an ambitious project, a 40-foot reflecting telescope, which took them 4 years to complete. The telescope was basically considered a grand success, and in 1815 was still considered, quote, the best and most powerful telescope ever created. Heck, there was even a song made to celebrate it. While studying the sun, they used different colored filtered lights. And as Frederick remarked, in 1800, when I used some of them, I felt a sensation of heat, though I had but little light, while others gave me much light with scarce any sensation of heat. That is why Frederick came to the proposition that the prismatic rays might have the power of heating bodies very unequally distributed among them. It was for that reason that the Herschels split the light with a prism and measured the heat from different colors. This is how they found that not only does the red light produce more heat per visible light than the other colors, but to the side of the red light, where there was no visible light to be seen, created even more heat. As Herschel put it, in this case, radiant heat will at least partially, if not chiefly, consist, if I may be permitted the expression, of invisible light. This was the discovery of infrared light, or radiant light that is invisible to the human eye. As there was an invisible heat light that was redder than red, it made sense to a German chemist and philosopher named Johann Wilhelm Ritter that there should also be an invisible light that is more violet than violet. However, like Herschel before him, Ritter couldn't find any heat light that was more than violet. But he was a chemist, so instead he studied it with chemical paper and found there was a light, an invisible light, that was more violet than violet, reacting to the chemical paper. He immediately dashed a note to the publishers. Quote, on 22nd of February, 1801, I also encountered rays alongside violet in the color spectrum by means of horn silver. They reduce even more strongly than violet light itself, and the field of these rays is very wide. This is, by the way, why you don't feel the heat from the UV rays that causes your skin to chemically react to the light and create sunburn. And that is how we discovered ultraviolet and infrared light. I'm working a longer video on the history of SI units before I get into the history of relativity and E equals mc squared. I'm also planning on a little video about my website, which I'm currently updating and expanding in all sorts of crazy ways, so keep your eye out from that. And thank you to my patrons, and as usual, stay safe and curious, my friends. Bye.